Good morning. I'm David Combe at the CBS and debrief. It's Tuesday, the 25th of January, just past 8:30 a.m. here, and so tomorrow, public holiday, Australia Day. All markets, all market in all states rather, the ASX will not be trading there, just to set the record straight there. Okay, so moving on. What happened overnight? The Dow got a pretty good lift up here, and in fact it's now very close to 12,000 and very close to its mid-2008 highs. This was partly on the back of McDonald's coming through with an expected number, and Intel announcing that it would add a further $10 billion to its stock repurchase plan. So that saw the Dow up nearly a bit over 0.5%. Sorry, more than 0.5%, 0.92%, and to a lesser extent the S&P 500. So let's go and take a look at those now. There we have the Dow up 0.92, S&P 500 up 0.58, and the Nasdaq, no doubt helped along by that Intel announcement, up a little over 1%. The rest of the Americas was up as well, with Toronto, Mexico and Brazil all up. In Europe, the FTSE up 0.81, the CAC up 0.39, the DAX up least of all possibly here, 0.08, Madrid down 0.13, Milan up 0.29, Stockholm down 0.18, and Switzerland up 0.56. And then yesterday here we actually ended up finishing up the session okay, up 30.30 points after what was otherwise a pretty lackluster day. Hang Seng down 95 and the Nikkei 225 down up 70.59, and then Hang Seng was 75.95. So let's have a look at the futures here. With the Nikkei pointing down 10, Hang Seng down 60, and we're taking a slightly positive lead here, up 9 points, although I'd expect it to be a little bit subdued going into the public holiday tomorrow for Australia Day. We'll move on and have a look at the commodities here. With the commodity indices, we are still seeing what could be the formation here of something of a sort of head and shoulders, being the left shoulder, the head, and if that does swing around and come back up, the right shoulder. But certainly does look to be rounding over a little bit. Doesn't have that jagged top like this one did here or here, from what I can see so far. So a little bit hard to call that one just yet. But certainly in the energies, pretty much down across the board here, with crude off $1.23, down well and truly below 90, down at 87.88. Natural gas down 0.153, which is 3.21%, so quite a big move there on natural gas down. Some of our stocks, maybe just run through the fallers here, with canola down 0.4, coffee down 1.29, corn down 0.3, orange juice down 1.84, sugar down just 0.06, and soy down 0.55. Everything else there largely green. Copper up 0.72 to $4.34. Gold making further declines here, now around $13.35. Down around $6. Now that is going to be breaching some pretty important technical levels here, so you need to be mindful of that, certainly if you're long gold. Silver, similar story, again, always tends to outpace both the upside and the downside, in this case 1.76% the number down. I don't normally cover livestock, but going to today because we've just issued a warrant going short live cattle. So that's trading at 111 cents, 77.77 per pound. which was down 0.9. And so, yeah, if you're interested in that one, please give us a call, 82679003, or email me at dc, as in David Coombe, dc@commoditybroking.com.au. Moving on, currency pairs, what are they doing? The euro was buying 1.3645 US dollars, buying a little bit more there, up 24. The pound buying 1.5997, so almost back up into 1.6 territory there, which should be interesting, sort of interesting milestone there for the pound coming back. That was actually trading off a little bit. The US dollar is buying 82.4950 yen, Aussie's buying 99.84 US, and the US is buying 99.40 Canadian dollars and 0.9486 francs. Let's have a look at the economic calendar here. So a major or high importance data here is out locally, which is the Consumer Price Index. That'll give us a pretty strong lead on what the RBA is likely to be concerned about. And we're expecting that to come in at 3%. Previous was 2.8. That's for the fourth quarter. So probably shouldn't have any sort of any dramatic events there that I'm aware of, at least, that should push that much higher than that level there. But a surprise number, of course, will turn things around pretty quickly. A rate rise, it's in the air, would of course be supportive of the Aussie dollar. Moving on, we have Bank of Japan forecast to keep their rates at 0.1%. I think everyone would be pretty happy with that figure here, those people with home mortgages. And then gross domestic product for the UK out a bit later on this evening. Other Aussie data. We've got various flavours of the CPI, really. Just looking at that again here. Okay, we'll move on, have a look at the Falcon Trader. Just to have looking here at when the local index was last at a peak in May, or comparing that with the peak that we've just reached with the Dow, being mid-2008, if we were doing the same thing, we would be up around 6,000 level. So it really does cause one to scratch one's head when we see the market actually down here at 4,700, and perhaps think about the state our economy is versus the US economy. But it is what it is. So we continue to wait here to see just how sustainable this breakout around the 48.30 level will be in terms of that providing a clear signal that we're going to work or grind our way higher, perhaps. Okay, let's move on and have a quick look through some of the other major instruments here. Looking here at the Aussie. Okay, so back up at this level, it seems to love to hover about the 1.618 extension here on this Fibonacci pull, and again, hard to think that we're going to move too far from there just at the moment. At least I can't see any signals that suggest it might. Just following up on a couple of these trade ideas that I've discussed previously. One of them was ironbark zinc, still called ironbark gold here in the platform. Now that has broken through that inner upward trend line, so I'd say that time to get out of that trade, unfortunately. Lend-lease was one I also talked about. and that's just doing a little bit of consolidating here by the looks of things. One to watch for, I think, and one that's certainly been a top pick for the VectorVest trading system is Medusa. And they've got gold and copper operations up in the Philippines, and it's really done very well for quite some time now. We'll just bunch that up a little bit. But what we can see here is that we had quite a strong level of resistance around this $7 level. We broke up through that a week or two back. Let's get that out of the way. And went for a run up towards $8. Now, in the interim, that's come back towards the $7 level, and potentially that level of resistance might end up becoming a new level of support. But what I would like to see is confirmation that that has occurred, so we'd like to see some sort of reversal pattern here and another, or an up day, and we'd want to be buying into that up day on strength. So in a rising market, before we jump back in. To temper that particular view, we also want to be mindful of just what gold's doing. And it's continuing to come off here, and as I mentioned a moment ago, if it takes out these levels around here, that would be significant and possibly a pretty bearish sort of event. So being mindful of that with Medusa. Let's go back to it here. One scenario would be to have a stop loss somewhere underneath the $7 level, around sort of 670, 680, 690, that type of thing, and then you know when you're wrong and you're out to trade. Okay, let's just move on here and see what else there is we want to have a look at. Probably want to have a quick look at the cattle, since I mentioned the live cattle warrant that we're doing. Just taking a little bit of time here to load up. Okay, let's just punch this up a bit. Okay, so we can see that we're coming off less than 80 cents back at the end of 09, and we're now up testing 110. So we do have this sort of sinusoidal pattern that's going up, and if we did see a continuation of this uptrend, then we would obviously have to exit the trade and take our losses. But if we do continue to see this volatility, then that suits the underlying option that we're trading for the warrant, and hopefully that will continue to come off, and we'll be able to exit out of that trade for a nice little profit. But I guess really to illustrate just where we are in historical terms, we'll go back to a weekly, and we can get a bit more of a feel for how this compares with all-time peaks in that particular market. So it's really 2008. We've taken out that level, and now we appear to be pulling back from that peak there. So yeah, as I say, if you're interested in that one, please give us a call. I think that just about wraps up the AM debrief here. So don't want to go on for too long. As always, hope that was useful. Thanks for your attention. Bye for now.